Welcome to Business Studies for JSS 2, second term. Today we learn about commerce, its meaning, the functions of trade, and its importance to Nigeria's economy. What is commerce? Commerce refers to all activities involved in the buying and selling of goods and services, as well as the activities that help to make this buying and selling possible, aids to trade. Commerce is the bridge between the producer of goods and the consumer who needs them. Scope of commerce. 1. Trade, the actual buying and selling of goods and services. This includes both domestic, within Nigeria, and international, between Nigeria and other countries, trade. 2. Aids to trade, all the supporting activities that help trade to take place efficiently. These include banking, insurance, transport, warehousing, advertising, and communication. What is trade? Trade is the buying and selling of goods and services. There are two main types of trade. 1. Home trade or domestic trade, buying and selling within the same country, within Nigeria. Home trade is divided into retail trade, selling goods in small quantities directly to the final consumer. The retailer is the last link in the chain of distribution. Examples: a kiosk in Lagos selling sachet water, a pharmacist in Kano selling medicine, ShopRite, Spa, and Mr. Price stores in Nigerian cities, roadside traders or hawkers selling groundnuts and gala sausage rolls. Wholesale trade, buying goods in large quantities from the producer or importer and selling in smaller quantities to retailers. Wholesalers act as the middlemen between producers and retailers. 2. Foreign trade, international trade, buying and selling between Nigeria and other countries. Foreign trade is divided into imports, goods bought into Nigeria from other countries. Nigeria imports refined petroleum products. Despite being an oil producer, Nigeria lacks refining capacity. This is a major national issue. Machinery, vehicles, electronics, wheat, rice, although local production is increasing under government policy, and certain medicines. Exports, goods sold from Nigeria to other countries. Nigeria exports crude oil, the dominant export, about 90% of export earnings and 60% of government revenue. Cocoa, and Nigeria's number 2 agricultural export, major producers in Ondo, Ogun, Cross River states. Natural gas, sesame seeds, cashew nuts, groundnuts, historical dominant export before oil, rubber, and timber. Re-exports, goods originally imported into Nigeria that are then re-exported to other countries, usually neighboring countries. Common in Cotonou of Benin Republic, Nigeria's neighbor, which re-exports goods imported to reach Nigerian markets through unofficial channels. Entrepot trade, when a country imports goods, stores them, and then re-exports them to third countries, the country acts as a middleman in international trade. Example: Dubai in the UAE is a major entrepot for goods entering Africa and South Asia. Channels of distribution. The chain of distribution is the path goods take from producer to final consumer. Producer-consumer, direct distribution, no middlemen. E.g. a Lagos Island fashion designer selling directly to customers from their studio. Farmers selling at farm gates. Direct sales via social media, Instagram commerce in Nigeria. Producer-retailer-consumer, the producer sells in bulk to large retailers who sell directly to consumers. Used by large retailers like ShopRite, Spa, Farmers Pride. Also online, Jumia selling manufacturers products directly. Producer-wholesaler-retailer-consumer, the traditional and most common channel in Nigeria. Producer makes goods, wholesaler buys in bulk from producer, e.g. from factories in Kano textile mills or Lagos industrial zones. Retailer buys in smaller quantities from the wholesaler, consumer buys from retailer. Producer, agent, wholesaler, retailer, consumer, even longer chain, used for imported goods entering Nigeria. Agent/importer brings goods in, sells to wholesalers, who sell to retailers, who sell to consumers. Functions of wholesalers. Breaking bulk, buying in large quantities from producers and selling smaller lots to retailers, so a small retailer doesn't need to buy a container load of products. Storing goods, warehousing products between production and retail, evening out supply and demand fluctuations. Financing, wholesalers often give retailers credit, allowing them to pay later. Transporting, delivering goods to retailers. Risk-bearing, taking on the risk that goods might not sell or prices might fall. Functions of retailers. Breaking bulk, selling single units to consumers, buying 1 sachet of peak milk, 1 bottle of groundnut oil. Providing convenience, bringing goods close to where consumers live. Neighborhood shops called provision stores are ubiquitous across Nigeria. Giving credit, many neighborhood stores in Nigeria give credit, buy now, pay later, known as buying on credit or credit sales, to regular customers. Providing information, advising consumers on products available. Displaying goods attractively, particularly important for modern supermarkets. Importance of commerce and trade to Nigeria. 1. Employment. Trade is one of Nigeria's largest employers. Millions of Nigerians work as traders, market sellers, shop attendants, transport workers, and in commerce-related services. The informal trading sector alone employs tens of millions. 2. Revenue. International trade generates foreign exchange earnings for Nigeria, mainly from oil exports, and tax revenue for the government, customs duties and VAT on imports. 3. Standard of living. Trade makes available a wider variety of goods and services than could be produced locally, improving Nigerians' standard of living. 4. Industrialization. Importing capital goods, machinery, industrial equipment helps Nigeria's factories produce goods locally. 5. International relations. Trade creates interdependence between Nigeria and trading partners, strengthening diplomatic and economic ties within ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, the African Union, and globally. Remember, commerce equals trade plus aids to trade. Trade equals buying and selling of goods and services. Home trade, retail, small quantities to consumers, kiosks, pharmacists, ShopRite, hawkers, and wholesale, large quantities from producers to retailers. Foreign trade, imports. Nigeria imports refined petrol, machinery, rice. Exports. Nigeria exports crude oil equals 90% of export earnings, cocoa equals 2 agricultural exports, natural gas, sesame, cashew, re-exports, entrepot. Channels of distribution, producer-consumer, direct, Instagram commerce, producer-retailer-consumer, ShopRite, Jumia, producer-wholesaler-retailer-consumer, most common Nigeria, plus agent channel. Wholesaler functions, breaking bulk, storing, financing, transporting, risk-bearing. Retailer functions, breaking bulk, convenience, provision stores, credit sales, consumer advice. Importance to Nigeria, employment, millions in informal trade, foreign exchange, oil exports, standard of living, industrialization, international relations, ECOWAS. Thank you for studying with us today.